what's the key for you in a week without practice and without a lot of preparation time to trying to get some of the polish on timing and everything else that comes with trying to take over the starting job again?
Yeah, I think just kind of talking through everything and making sure we're on the same page of how we want things run and how we want to execute on some of these plays. So I think that's the big thing. With a short week, there's a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of just talking through it. There's a lot of mental stuff that you go through. So all that stuff's really important as it leads up to the game on Thursday.
There were a few instances of disconnect on Sunday. There was a 3rd and 5 to Marquise in the third quarter where it looked like you threw to a spot. He kept running his route. What exactly happened there, and how do you guys kind of get together to fix that?
Yeah, I think it's just making sure everybody's communicating on the same page. Saying one thing, hear something different, and not just that instance. There's a couple other times felt like we just near misses that plays that we wish I would have had back, and so having a week to sit here and talk about it and do everything, I think it would be good for us.
Somebody who'd never been on the bench before, what did you learn about yourself last year when you came off it, and kind of how long it took you to get in the swing of things and tricks you learned to kind of get up to speed real quick, and can you apply any of that this year?
Yeah, last year was a little different year, like you said. I knew going in, being the backup, everything, and you have to stay ready. I think that's the biggest thing. I felt like I was prepared, was ready to go this past week, and when I got a chance to come in there, obviously there were some good things that happened, things that I like I said, wish I would have had back. So just being ready for if the opportunity comes.
You said that when you went to Dallas, you did so knowing you'd be the backup and accepting that, but that you came here intending to be a starter, planning on being the starter to possibly even extend your career or as a starter in the NFL. Do you still feel invigorated by that possibility that you could make a case for yourself, whether this is 1 game, 2 games, whatever, to the rest of the league, that you could still be a starter?
For sure, I believe I'm a starter in this league. Coming in this year, that's what I was. That's what I expect to. The type of player that I am and the type of player that I've been throughout my career. Like I said, I've started every year that I've been in the league, minus last year going into it, but still got to play a lot last year. So yeah, my focus isn't on what's going to be going on after this year, after this game. My whole focus is just being the best quarterback, being the best player that I can be to help this team win on Thursday.
When you were in Cincinnati, there were a couple of years where there was a lot of rumors about Marvin and his job status at the end of the year. What do you remember from those years in terms of how the locker room kind of handles it going on into what is just kind of naturally happening right now with you guys?
Yeah, I think there's rumors all over the place and about a lot of different things at different times. And as a locker room, you don't worry about that. There's so many other things that you have to worry about. You have to worry about what you getting ready for that next game and the things that are really important going into it. So I think that's the biggest thing is just guys staying focused on the things that are really important.
What role has Nagy played in kind of keeping the locker room together that you have seen?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job just being in front of everybody and just being real. And this has been a tough stretch for us. But for us, we got to just keep fighting and doing the things that we know that we can do. And these last couple games have been close. We've had opportunities and guys are fighting till the end. Just unfortunately, it hasn't gone in our favor the last two right there at the end. But the effort and just the way that we've been playing, you can't discredit any of that.
How would you describe the tension that a team has to fight against when they're in the middle of a lengthy losing streak? There's outside questions about the coaching staff's job security, and you're trying to prepare, but there's obviously a natural tension, not amongst guys, but just generally.
Yeah, again, it's kind of what you're saying. You focus on the things that matter, and you have to block out the outside noise. When things are going great, you have to block out the outside noise. When things are, you're on a losing streak, you have to block out the outside noise. There's different pressures at different times, so just being able to understand that.
Andy, how does it affect the offense when a guy like Allen Robinson is not available?
Well, Allen's such a good player, and he brings so much to this offense, and with what he can do. For us, other guys have to kind of step up and kind of fill that role, and we have to find ways for the guys that are going to be in there and scheme things up for them that they may be just a little different than Allen. And so, we obviously miss him, and hopefully he can get back soon.
The guys in the locker room, are they still engaged? Do you see that everybody's, despite this losing streak, still locked in the right way?
For sure. There's been just the attitude and mentality of this team has not changed, and again, it's tough to lose, and to lose the way we have the last couple weeks it's tough on you. But for us, I feel like we've got the right mindset, right mentality, and it just takes one to get this thing flipped around.
Andy,
Go ahead, Mark.
is blocking out the outside noise more difficult in this day and age than maybe 10 years ago with smartphones and social media?
What's social media? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, yeah, it's you have to. You're going to see some things, even though you're not trying to. But maybe don't click on things that you shouldn't click on.
That's good advice.
Throughout your career, a few games, is there any advice you can give Justin now that he's going through this for the first time?
Yeah, just do everything you can to rehab and get feeling better as quick as you can. I think that's the biggest thing. Your mindset shifts to game planning and preparing for a game, and now your whole focus is doing everything you can to get healthy.
Laser was in here a couple minutes ago just talking about Darnell's continued improvement and kind of his commitment to the process. I'm curious, as a guy who's been in the league a long time and now has had like 6 months or so to work with Darnell, what leaves an impression on you about his development and where he might be headed?
The first thing is that he wants to be really good, and there's so many things, just the details that you can talk to him about that he understands and that are going to make him and have made him such a good player. And I think that's the biggest thing, his willingness to want to be really good and add that to his ability. And I mean, I think it's showing, there's a big jump usually from year 1 to year 2 just with being comfortable in an offense and just be comfortable playing and understand what you're doing. And I mean, you've seen the strides that he's taken this year.
When you say details, what are some of the things you talk with him about that?
Oh, just route running. It's your first year, you're going to go out there, you're going to see the install, see the picture, and you may run it exactly how it's drawn up. And then as you get into second year, you understand how, okay, well, I got to play off leverage, got to do different things. And so I think the little details of that, he's definitely improved.
This preseason, as the calls for Justin kind of grew louder, one of those preseason games at Soldier Field, the offense was booed. The very next drive, you come out and throw a touchdown pass. You admitted to us that was kind of extra sweet. Like, I didn't hear the boos after that touchdown pass. Was your performance on Sunday similar vindication, having been benched and now being back on the field?
Well, I wouldn't say that. This preseason wasn't the first time I've been booed. So, talking about blocking the outside noise and different things, it happens in games too. But, offensively, we're speaking, like, for us to make the play at that moment and at the end of the game in a critical part of the game, I mean, that was good to see. Obviously, there's ups and downs of games, and there's different flows and how these games goes. But that was good to see how our offense responded and made a play in that moment. And obviously, we wish we would have pulled that one out. But I mean, there's something you can take from that.
Sonny Dykes at TCU.
We'll see. I'll be rooting for the Frogs, whoever's out there.